is Unpopular Disney Opinions Part D. Do you want to read them?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So the first one we hear, we're just going to go to how many we got here. We got a few.
I have a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll say what the quote is, and I'll say who said it. So if you're listening, we hear your name. This one, Ohana is mediocre at best. Jennifer Lynn said that. And Lindsay Brown also said, Ohana bread pudding is definitely good, but overhyped. What do you think about Ohana? Because it's such a mixed bag, Ohana. It's like a great location.
Mm-hmm.
The potential for it to be outstanding is high.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it falls into the category of it's overrated, popular or whatever. Like it's everyone knows what it is, and it's like the restaurant to get, but it's not always really good. It's not consistent. That's what
I tend to agree with both of these takes, to be quite honest. I don't think it's as good as it used. So Ohana goes through this where it isn't good, and then it improves and it gets better, and then it kind of goes back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely don't think it's worth the money that it costs to eat there.
Do you know how much it is now?
It's like what, 50 something, 60 something?
It's $60 for dinner.
It's not worth $60. It's a great atmosphere. Yeah. I love Polynesian. It's not worth $60. Yeah. I would much rather take that money and go eat at Topolino's.
Well, the thing is too, it's like family style, and I can't eat all of that.
Well, that's also a thing of like buffets too. If it's all you can eat, you realistically speaking, you can only eat so much before you're just insanely uncomfortable.
It's like that cartoon where you like unhinge your jaw. It's just like poured.
And the thing is, like, I can eat a lot of food, but I don't really like to eat to the point of discomfort anymore. Especially if I'm got to walk afterwards and got to carry kids and things.
Especially at Disney. Yeah.
So I kind of agree with both of these.
All right.
Yeah. And I like the bread pudding, but honestly, I could do without pieces of pineapple in the bread pudding.
I know you don't.
It is really good.
I think it's amazing.
But after I've always put it this way: I've had much better bread pudding.
How dare you?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
But okay.
I'll agree with the being mediocre, at least right now for Ohana. Bread pudding, though, I don't agree with that. Let's just say that.
Okay.
The next one is strollers are the death of me. And she says, I have 3 kids. The blocking walkways, pushing into backs of legs, in general disregard by folks pushing these monstrosities. And that's Heather Palma. So we're still in the stroller phase. We still have the stroller and we still have the double stroller. When can we move to a single? When is that coming?
Well, hold on. Let's talk about first.
Okay.
Strollers. What? Okay, I still like the fact that we have the stroller for a few reasons. It gives you extra storage and things, but many people are terrible with their strollers. I will agree with that. Some people just stop in the middle of walkways. They don't care. It's kind of like with anything. There's really bad drivers on the road. There's really bad stroller drivers out there.
The strollers that are like those giant jogging strollers. I'm like, you don't need to bring a jogging stroller.
Well, that you have the people too that have a stroller and it's like they've never used it before in their entire life, and you're like, they decide that now's the time we're going to disassemble this thing where we've got like 20 people waiting.
Well,
to get on the bus.
some people rent strollers.
I agree.
Too,
I know.
Yeah.
And I know, like, when you got a lot of pressure on you, that's got to be a bad situation. So I understand where you're coming from. I still see, like, for us, it's still more pros versus cons.
It's
like
a necessary evil.
Right. Now, granted, we don't have to lug it a lot other than the car, but getting it on and off stuff when you have to fold it up, it is annoying.
Yeah.
In my consistent struggle with the wheel on our stroller.
Gosh.
But I think I have tackled that foe. It's not pretty, but it works.
You're right. It is not pretty.
I'm not buying it at this point. I'm not buying a new stroller. Okay, it's just not happening. So that wheel it's holding up. It's gonna make it one way or the other.
Okay.
Now to answer the other question, the thing is with our daughter, like, she could walk a lot, but the thing is, it's the whininess. It's
like,
just nice to be able to just get in the stroller and eat some food, like just chill out in there.
Chill.
So it's like, it just comes down to, do you want to deal with the whininess? And with me, that means I'm gonna have to carry her or put her on my shoulders. Which, listen, I will always, like, I realize with kids, it's like anytime she wants me to hold her, I will, because one day she won't want me to.
Yeah.
But it's also she's heavy, and it's like
Yeah,
sometimes
she's-
I don't feel like carrying around, but I will. So
Yeah.
for me, it's definitely more work, and I have a hard time
Right.
saying no to her when
I
she wants me to
understand.
carry her. So yeah, for now, I'm okay with the stroller.
Okay.
Maybe like another. I think we have another year. With
All
her.
right. Next one is sit down character meals are overpriced and not worth it at all. That's Jesse Wheeler Russell. And Leslie Kirk Parkins also said character meals are not worth the money and long lines to meet characters are not worth the time.
You know, so we wouldn't do these without our kids. And I think most people do these because you do them for your children for the most part. Coming down to whether it's worth it or not, are they overpriced? Absolutely, they're overpriced. Like these things are 60, 70. I mean, they're insanely expensive. A family of 4, you're spending $200-ish to do these.
Least,
Once you get tip involved, if you get any drinks and things like that. Whether or not it's worth it is probably more of a personal thing, and how you look at it. I think we'll do them every once in a while. Usually when we do them, though, it's like when my brother comes as well.
Right.
Like last time we did it was over at
Tusker
House, and it was because it was, it was with my brother and his family and his little girl and his boy, and our kids are together. And that's a cool experience to like have cousins that are having a cool meal together like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those situations for sure. On a regular basis, no, we're probably not going to do that because, I mean, you can go meet Mickey over in Magic Kingdom just about any time without a huge wait.
That's the thing. It's like, it's like, okay, yeah, you have the characters and everything, you have the meal, but if you just take the characters out and you're left with the food, is it still good?
And the food usually is not that great outside of Topolino's Terrace for breakfast, which is amazing. So I would say for the most part, I agree with that. And I think you can meet Pluto in a lot of places. You can meet characters, maybe not all together like that all the time, but you can meet the characters without dropping $200 on a family of 4 to have a subpar meal and get a picture with some characters.
Now with the
I shouldn't say subpar, sometimes subpar, but
okay. With the resurgence of the dining plan, I think these will become even more popular because if you're using credits instead of, actual cash as you're paying,
right,
it might be people were just like, okay, well, this is my part of my dining plan, so I'm just going to do it. So are they overpriced? I mean, I think it's a resounding yes. I don't think that you're going to find someone that's like, oh yeah, I totally think that I should pay $60 to eat at Chef Mickey's. And I don't you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like speaking too much for everybody, but I do agree that the price is really hard to swallow sometimes for the character meals.
Sure. Yeah.
Next one, Lindsey Brown. There's another Lindsey Brown. Jungle Cruise is overhyped.
I could understand. So Jungle Cruise is one of those things you have to like really be into. I could understand people thinking it's pretty overhyped because it's like you have to kind of, the jokes are corny, but that's the part of the ride. Like you're in on the corniness of it. It's not a stand-up routine trying to make you laugh the entire time necessarily. Well, like everyone's kind of in on it. So I can see some people thinking that.
I like when the Jungle Cruise comes back because the jokes are different. Mm-hmm. Because if you keep going on Jungle Cruise over and over again, it was most likely the same jokes.
It just comes down to
so it's like, okay, that gets kind of old.
Well, the thing with the Jungle Cruise is it's the skipper you get and how they do it and stuff like that. But I can understand where people are coming from with that. And so, I mean, I think I don't hear a lot of people talking about Jungle Cruise being like the greatest attraction that's ever been created. So, I mean, in my opinion, I kind of think it's pretty well hyped, I suppose you could say. It's
well hyped.
Not over, not under. It's about in the middle. So
it's hyped.
I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't think it's like the greatest ride that Disney has. So
okay.
But.
Okay, the next one is, this probably doesn't count as an unpopular opinion, but how are people not begging for the Little Mermaid show to come back at Hollywood Studios? Seems like an easy addition and a wonderful way to keep wait times low. And that's Lindsey Brown again. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. It's been closed for how many years?
Well, rumor has it everything's out of there.
Yeah, I think they've
completely
taken everything out.
Scrapped it all.
It remains to be seen what's going to happen with it, if they're going to just completely redo the show and do another Little Mermaid version, Or is it just going to become something completely different? You know, we haven't heard anything about it in, has it been a year since they took the sign down?
Yeah.
I don't
know. I mean, I think you haven't heard much just because, people love The Little Mermaid, but it's not it's an older IP. I mean, talking about the
it doesn't matter.
I know, but I'm just saying, I think that's why you don't hear a lot of people talking about it. But I would be surprised if The Little Mermaid goes in there. I would think there's other IPs that they would put in there versus that one, probably.
Well, you have the ride at Magic Kingdom already, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. Next one is the Contemporary Hotel is only a deluxe because of its proximity to Magic Kingdom and monorail access. The design is dated and boring. It would be a moderate if you picked it up and put it next to Port Orleans. That's Chris Connolly.
Agreed.
Honestly, that one I don't think is unpopular. It's, yeah.
I'm not the biggest Contemporary fan. Its proximity is the biggest selling point.
Absolutely.
And the monorail riding into it and things like that. But I would agree with that. It's themed after an airport, basically. If you like airports, you'll love it.
Themed after an airport. How dare you?
You can take pictures and be like, Contemporary, or am I getting on a flight? Like, you just took certain snapshots and be like, I don't know.
Just put yourself in my shoes as a little girl, a 5-year-old little girl, 6-year-old. When I stayed there for the first time, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. The monorail went through the hotel.
Oh, it is cool. Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
Right.
This is amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's a cool aspect of it.
Yes.
I think definitely when you're younger. Yeah.
But is the design...
Are the rooms and all that? Yeah.
I still haven't been inside an Incredibles room. My sister stayed in one. I did not get to go over there. But I mean, they look nice and they're big rooms. But I would have to agree with this. This is, it needs to be updated.
Agreed.
Please.
Yeah.
Next one is, this is interesting. This is Matt. Matt has a couple. Let's see. Where is it? Disney should have their own grocery store on property and sell only IP-ish related items so people would need a DoorDash groceries. They could just go there, still be within the bubble. The store would also have in-park food, but made for cooking at home. Example, frozen Mickey waffles, most ice cream novelties, the ingredients for Mickey waffles, frozen egg rolls from the cart. Produce could be from rabbits, like from Pooh, garden produce section. There are lots of possibilities for Remy, Clarabelle's Dairy, Baloo and Louie from Tailspin, imported and specialties covering anything else, etc.
I mean, that's a cool idea. I think when you try and scale that out, you would have to have one. Logistically, it's like you'd have to have one at every resort. And like resorts do have some stuff you can go grab, but it's like you would have to have a car or they'd have to have bus transportation to it. And then you got people carrying groceries on buses. I mean, that is a cool idea. I also think like Disney probably doesn't want to get, I mean, they already handle food, but it probably logistically would be a bit of a mess.
I don't know if it'll be a mess because like in any of the DVC resorts, they carry a limited amount of the items that he's mentioned.
Right. I'm just saying if you had like a single grocery store on property or something like that, like getting people to and from it without having a car, like I think if they're providing transportation. Now, if they have it there, that's one thing. But, I mean, Disney at one point was going to start their own airline and they didn't do that because I think they realized there's not a lot of, groceries is like a numbers game to make a lot of money. That's why they have like grocery stores everywhere for the most part. So
they're just going to license out the Disney name.
It's easy. I mean, honestly, they don't have to staff people. They can just license it out. Like,
Yep.
Sometimes you're chasing, what do they say, stepping over dollars to grab pennies. It's like you don't want to do that. But
Matt also said Pandora doesn't fit the theme of Animal Kingdom and would have been better at Epcot.
I disagree with that. I think it fits it because originally Animal Kingdom had like a fantasy aspect to it. Or was supposed to. And this essentially became that. Now, the argument about Pandora really is something that worth the land. It's a cool land, and the Avatar movies are huge, but they have literally zero cultural impact, which is a strange phenomenon. Those movies make so much money, and there's just no impact on them. But it's okay. I mean, Animal Kingdom needs more stuff anyways, so I'm okay with it being there.
Okay. Next one is from Missy Anderson. It is more fun to go to Walt Disney World without kids. You can go, see, eat, and drink everything without whines or complaints. You know?
The thing is, it's just kid. People can say that about kids in general, and like kids can be whiny, but it's really fun. Like when your kids enjoy something and you see, it's like, I don't know, when your kids enjoy something, you enjoy it. And our daughter's at a cool age where she wants to do a lot of stuff, and she wants me to do it with her, and I get it. Like it's nice to have time on your own for sure when you don't have those things. But a lot of times when we're there, like you and I, and as much as like we enjoy being together, we'll do something be like, "Baby Thor would love that," or like our daughter would kick out of it. Like
it's true.
It's like it's good to have those, and a lot of times like whatever you're doing, you're gonna be longing for the opposite. It's called the grass is always greener situation. So I think that's natural to have those inclinations, and it's good to experience things both ways. Like that's why it's good to have date nights when you don't have children.
Absolutely.
The heart grows fonder whenever you're not around them all the time. But
I mean, and I do say this a lot to you. I don't know if I say this out loud here, but just because something is easier doesn't mean it's better.
True.
So yeah, it might be easier to go without kids, so you can do exactly what you do and everything, but I don't know, my experience with our kids and with you, like as a family together, is like what I cherish, in my memories.
Right.
Like long term, I guess. But it doesn't mean that I don't occasionally like to.
Well, and that's something too, where it's like if you're on a family trip and you don't want to, it's like, hey, I'll put the kids to bed. You go to Epcot, go do something like, things like that you can do and like get both, or if you got, if your parents are down, they can watch the kids and we can go do things. So I get it. It's just what your definition of fun and what you want to do. So it kind of depends, but.
Yep. Having said that, we will leave them with my parents when we go to Candlelight Procession, like I just talked about. But it's because they don't like it. So
don't you touch me again?
Oh my gosh! You know what? I'm going to grab your arm every time I'm talking to you.
Listen, I understand, but this is a workplace. Okay,
this is professional.
All right, we're trying to run a tight ship over here.
Okay, I have two more.
You're over here feeling the gun show.
I am.
I'm sorry. Go on.
All right. Really. As a DVC member since 2009, would choose Bay Lake over Polly. Also, California Grill is overrated. The first restaurant we book is Le Cellier. Have done so every trip since 2004, and that's Chad Krameroff. So those are very interesting takes.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
yes.
Hotel preferences are, it's personal taste.
It is.
I don't know. Me personally, I would take Bay Lake over Polly, but if you want to be near Magic Kingdom, that's one way. If you want to be a little closer, they're both close.
Polynesian is definitely more my aesthetic than Bay Lake is.
For sure.
Personal preference.
I haven't eaten Le Cellier, so I can't really wait.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
You have?
No, we have. No, never mind.
I haven't. No.
California Grill. I mean, it's expensive.
It is expensive. I don't think it's overrated though, because we've had some really good food there.
I mean, I've had one of the best steaks I've ever had in my life at California Grill.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and that view.
It's all relative. I think it's one of those things, like a special occasion and things like that. It serves. I mean, expensive restaurants always have that of like, is it worth it? Is it overrated? Sort of thing. So those always exist.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, it's just special occasions. Like we don't go to super fancy restaurants like consistently all the time, but
that's true.
Just not a fancy person.
All right. The last one literally shocked me. That's why I put the last one. And, I was taken aback.
Okay.
Brittany Isabella said Tangled is overrated.
Well, I mean, people are entitled to their bad opinions, and that's what makes this country great. I personally love Tangled, and I think it's
same. Yeah.
As somebody who went through the phase with our daughter where we had to watch a movie,
she was obsessed,
like 20 times in a day. And our son does it as well, but it's obviously more princess stuff with our daughter.
Oh no, with him it's Maximus. He likes the horse.
Oh, for sure.
And he likes Pascal.
And Maximus he's fantastic.
Yes.
He likes justice. I get that.
He likes justice.
Yeah, Tangled is the one that I can rewatch the most, and it didn't drive me insane. I thought it had a good story, and I think it's got a good message. I really like Tangled. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Overrated, I guess, it depends on where you're coming from.
Well, these are all opinions,
Right.
Obviously. So we don't agree necessarily with this opinion, but it is an opinion.
That's Jamie's way of saying she wants to fight.
I don't want to fight you. No. No.
I would disagree firmly, wholeheartedly.
What Disney animated movie do you think is overrated?
Moana.
I should have known that.
That movie drives me crazy.
Okay.
Because first off,
It's because Lin-Manuel Miranda or whatever. I know you don't like his style.
I can't stand him.
No.
The Rock sing. I like The Rock, but him singing is not the greatest asset in the world.
Everyone just like shakes their head when you say you don't like him.
That's
there's
fine.
a whole lot of people that like him.
I get it. That's fine. I've never enjoyed him. Same thing with Josh Gad. I don't understand why people think he's fantastic.
We're losing listeners.
That's
We're
fine.
losing
Listen,
them.
I'm just I'm
you're
pruning.
Like,
I'm pruning.
You're pruning.
You don't have to agree with me, but you're gonna listen. No, I think I like the what is it, the alternate theory that when Moana hit her head underwater or like she barely got away, that she actually died, and the whole movie was her like what's that movie where it's like your life flashed before your eyes? And
Jacob's
Ladder scenario.
Yeah.
That one makes way more sense to me because so many things about that movie just don't make any sense. So, yeah. I think that movie got me though because I had to see it like probably 100 times, and mentally my brain was just like, we have to start breaking this down or we're gonna lose it. And so, What about you?
Overrated, like a princess movie?
I would say Disney animated. I guess we'll stay in that category. Maybe princess.
Gosh, that's hard because I was a little girl and I grew up with all of those in the 90s. Oh, I don't think any of them are overrated. That's a terrible answer.
That is a terrible. That's not a hot take.
Terrible answer.
I went in hot.
I mean,
and you're just dipping your toe in here. Just feeling it out.
I think there's aspects of each Disney princess that they bring from their stories that I like. I don't know if my least favorite princess, but I can't answer the question. I refuse.
I can tell you, Mighty Ducks does not hold up under viewing when you're a little bit older. I was under the impression
Mighty Ducks
that movie was great. And I was like, there's a lot of holes in it. For instance, you didn't really know, like when you get a DUI, you're forced to go coach child hockey, and then you drive a limo onto the ice to try and I think he hit one with the limo. There's a lot of things about that movie where I was like, wow, this is really irresponsible.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to date your mom, Charlie.
Oh my goodness.
And he dated her. I don't know. Seemed a little aggressive.
Okay, I do know.
Okay.
I do know. I've thought about it, and I do know.
Okay.
I think I know a lot of little girls listening. I think Elsa.
Get the kids out of the room.
Elsa is overrated. Technically, she's not a Disney princess, but I think she's overrated. Again, when you know the fact that she was the villain in the original story, you're like, oh, well, that makes sense because she does all the bad stuff. Everything that happens in the movie is because of her.
Right.
For sure. I don't know. I
agree with you. She's overrated. I don't. Frozen is. I don't know how many parents love Frozen as much as the kids do.
I know. I'm saying I think Elsa.
And also, there's a lot of holes in that whole storyline with when you go from Frozen to Frozen 2. There's a lot of things I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like they did
continuity.
Continuity issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why didn't you just send her away to Xavier School for the gifted mutants instead of trying to conceal it?
So she can learn to harness her powers.
Yeah, they'll teach her how to use her powers, and she'll join the X-Men. Yeah.
Do you want Elsa to be an X-Men?
Not really. She'd sing a lot, but Wolverine would get really mad. We'd probably do some things.
All right. Well.
All right. That got really weird. All right. Anyways.
All right.
Any more hot takes?
I don't have any written down. No, I think I went through all of them.
Do you have any personal hot takes you'd like to share with the class?
I think we talked about a lot of them in the last episode. Not that I can think of right now. Your hot take is still Animal Kingdom is a half-day park. I don't think you'll
Not
ever...
a hot take. First off, it is a zoo. Anybody wants to argue with me? It technically is a zoo, right?
Oh, I mean, it is. Yes, technically it is a zoo.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Admitted from Disney themselves.
They did say that. Yes.
So I will accept apologies anytime.
Okay.
I mean, I'm accused of having a lot of hot takes, I suppose.
It's
I mean, I
true.
suppose your hottest take, maybe, would I agree with it, would be that Festival of the Arts is the best festival at Epcot,
Absolutely.
which I agree with.
I mean,
I don't feel like that's a hot take anymore. I was talking to Kendra the other day, and she even said that, and I was like,
Yeah,
I don't really think this is a hot take anymore.
I know. Like I get excited to go to festival holidays. I get excited to go to Festival of the Arts. I like Flower and Garden a lot. I do not care for Food and Wine.
Well, it's hard to enjoy a fall festival when it starts in July.
Yep, that's true.
It's a little hot. I mean, the last thing you really want to do when it's, you want to go enjoy a food festival is to sweat profusely and go have hot foods.
Well, if you missed the first part of the Unpopular Opinions episode we did before, we did discuss this. So we're just going to rehash that, I guess.
I'm much like, what's the movie? 50 First Dates, in that once we record an episode, it's gone. I don't remember. You have to retell me.
All right.
Because